Hi, thanks for visiting learnhowtobeprepared.com. In this episode, we're going to be talking about student emergency kits. And with your student emergency kit, you're going to have to talk to your local school, find out what their policies are with having this stuff around, and you'll have to discuss with the teacher a place where you can keep your emergency kit, and then you have to talk with your kid about almost violating a traditional school room. When there's a fire alarm, you don't take anything with you. In this case, we want to work with our educators to teach them you do take something with you. You take your emergency kit and you put on your helmet. And so that's going to lead us right into gear. First, I want to start with the backpack. School emergency kits, they're going to sit there just like the ones in your car do, 72-hour bags, the one in your office. You don't have to go out and buy a $50 backpack for it. You can use last year's model. I don't know why kids need new model backpacks. Last year's model, Goodwill, Salvation Army thrift stores. This was a great bag that we picked up somewhere, some thrift store. Important things to note: good zipper, some compartments, really helps out. So get a bag that your kid can carry, adjust it to them, fill it up. Okay? Moving on to basic need number one, water. We went with 3 of the 23.6 ounce spring waters. The reason for that is my daughter's 9 years old. We're going to pack this bag up, and I don't want it to be too heavy. So that's an issue there. For food, our family's gluten-free, as much as we can be. These are great organic just fruit munchies. They're just freeze-dried fruit pieces. They're really great for the backpack. They'll last a long time. Part of our rotation with our school emergency supplies is every summer we take out the bag, we eat the goodies, drink the water, and replace them. Real simple rotation. So, with every year with school supplies, you just buy some new food. We also have some gluten-free bars, Gorge Delight. These are going to be good for her too. It's a last-ditch effort, so she's got some more long-term food. We've got the Mayday 2400s. This is not gluten-free, but it is calories. And we've talked with her about how this is really the last food that you want to be using. So food is important to have in your kid's emergency kit. It's something that I would hate to see get ignored. Moving on to first aid, we've got a Lifeline 30 first aid kit. I really like these little kits. They're good for kids. Kids don't have extensive first aid training yet. They're really just going to need something basic. 1, to use on themselves and give them a sense of security. And 2, maybe your teachers don't have an appropriate first aid kit in an emergency situation. You've taught your kids to grab their bag and go. They now have a kit. Another important tool for your emergency kit for your kids is a whistle. You know how a whistle works. And make sure you talk to your kids about how to use that whistle. I got a Bite MD Bite Stick. It's an anti-itch stick. I think it's really important for kids, especially in, let's say that it's, the springtime or almost summertime. Major emergency happens. They're evacuated to outside. Mosquitoes, for some reason, are out. Bite Stick. Real good for her to have. Make sure to show the kids how to use any of these items. We live in Oregon. It rains a lot, so you got your emergency poncho, your emergency blanket. Your emergency blanket can be used for a variety of things. Make sure to talk with your kids about out-of-the-box ideas for both of these items. Okay? For my daughter, her school is in a basement, so it's really important to me that she knows to have a helmet under her desk. And we use her last model bicycle helmet. It's a great solution. If the earth starts shaking, she knows that she can grab that helmet, put it over her head, and it's going to offer her a lot more protection from falling debris than just not having anything. Remember, most people who are injured in earthquakes or other seismic events are injured by falling debris. So we keep this in her emergency kit. I think having a bicycle helmet's a great solution for kids, and it's not too weird. It's not a construction helmet. You want to make sure to not draw attention from the bullies. Oh, the weird kid that's got the super backpack. Make it pretty cool. Electronic devices. I do have some for my daughter. She's got 2 flashlights, 2 light sources. Kids get scared. and you want to give your kid an opportunity to not be scared. So she has this really neat by Rayovac kind of a floodlight, and you can adjust it, and so it can be a spotlight or it can be just a flood area light. Give some security if something happens in the dark. Good to be prepared. Next, I've got this made in China, but I really like it. Shaker light. It's low. It's a low LED light. You just give it a shake and turn it on, and there you go. You can put batteries in it as well. Store it without the batteries in it. Make sure to always store your electronics without the batteries in them. But keep the batteries close. As much as you can, just like with my flashlights, even the Rayovac and the radio, all of these devices use triple or double A batteries in this case. Try to pack in your backpacks one kind of battery if you can. That brings me up to communication. For communication, we live within GMRS radio range of my daughter. And in an emergency, yes, you do need to have a GMRS radio license to operate that radio. But in an emergency, we may need to have our kids use their GMRS radios. So what we've got here is a really nifty Talkabout by Motorola. And one thing that I really like about the Talkabout is that it's an older model. And the benefit to that is that it uses AA batteries. It doesn't have to sit, you don't have to charge it. It doesn't have to be pre-charged. I've noticed with a lot of FRS, GMRS radios, if you pre-charge them, by the time you go to use them, they're dead. So this is great. I've taught her how to load the batteries, and you load them up, you turn it on. Well, once you turn it on, you got to know what you're going to do with it. So we've exercised our radio communications plan, and also for my daughter, we have a nifty little fold-out map of the city. And on our fold-out map, we've located where her school is in relation to her grandparents' house, and where her school is in relation to our house. And so we've talked with her about using maps and about where she would go. Another idea for this map, I put on the map itself, it's got a little extra flap here, emergency contact information, what radio channels she can reach me on. In this case, it's a frequency, but where she can reach me, and for rescuers, information pertaining to her and where she lives. A couple little amenities for her. Watch. It's important to know time. It gives you a frame of reference. An extra umbrella. And for your kids' bags, I think the most important thing that you can have in there is a good book. This is a Potter book that she's read 1,000,000 times. The reason for that is because it's going to give her a level of comfort. And so we want her to be prepared, and we want her to be ready. We talk about preparedness with our kids, and I think that you should too. Having a comprehensive kit that matches your kid's needs, your situation, is going to be a key to survival in any event, any emergency that your kid might face. You're not going to be there with your kid, so you have the opportunity now to teach your kids how to survive. Last but not least, we've got some extra clothes. Make sure you pack extra clothes. Don't forget the socks. If it's going to be wet and gross out, you can put some socks in there. Talk to your kids about out of the box ideas. If it is wet and cold and they go to put on those socks, put their foot in a plastic bag, and then put that plastic bag with their dry sock and their foot in that boot or shoe, and move on. Get the heck out of there. Go home. This has been a great episode. Leave your comments and questions, and thanks for watching LearnHowToBePrepared.com, where we teach you how to survive, and you don't have to be a survivalist, and we want to protect your family just like we want to protect our own. Take care. Have a good day.